Okay. So Electro had posted a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, I'm really sorry that I'm late. Um, Trump's new free speech platform will ban you for criticizing it. It's a David Pakman segment. Hey, Electro, you you're fast, huh? I'm just gonna be looking over at what you sent to me. I'm just gonna go ahead and like put on my headphones. And I'm actually pretty happy right now that I figured out this whole situation with streaming because yeah, I didn't know how bad like the camera and the microphone quality is, but it's cool. I figured it out. So let me check this out real quick. Here.
I think you're just going to absolutely love the absurdity of this.
Oops. I just need to fix this. Also, dude, why do conservatives come in here like arguing with me as if I'm literally like checking out this video now. I don't know why you're already mad. Like I just got here. Okay, cool. Let's go.
After much waiting and excitement and anticipation and waiting with bated breath, he's finally done it. Donald Trump has announced his new media group and a new free speech platform
Okay.
called Truth Social.
Okay, so I didn't realize it was like a whole media group. I thought it was literally just an app and that was it. So now I do want to check like what do they do besides this app? Um, Let me just check up Trump on Google real quick. Okay, so I see. I'm not sure if this is already something that has been put down. Okay, post presidency. Let's see. Okay, you know what? Media group, Donald Trump. Okay, yeah. It was founded in 2021. February 2020. Damn! He didn't even wait until the fucking seat was cold before he started doing that. That's so quick. But okay, yeah. It is a publicly traded SPAC, special purpose acquisition company. Okay, so does that mean that if I wanted to buy stocks in this, I could? That's so funny. Okay, hold on. Okay, wait. No. That's I don't see it, but okay. It's publicly traded, whatever SPAC is. I never said that I was like a finance person, but yeah, it's kind of interesting that some people were kind of like talking about the whole thing about like, okay, if Tulsi Gabbard loses, she's gonna go and become like a conservative grifter, and she'll be making her appearances in XYZ, and some people were also like, yeah, like Trump is gonna become like a media figure. Excuse me. Obviously, he was already a media figure, in a plethora of ways. Considering that he basically was a businessman celebrity for years. But I don't know, just the idea of like 3 seconds after they're like, yeah, I really guess that they're not gonna revert the election. Fuck it, okay, I'll make a media company. Like that's so fast. Um, oh yeah, and okay, they sell shares to the public and then raise funds from investors. Man, okay, that's kind of yeah. You know what? I don't know enough about business. But okay, he had made it earlier, but they announced that they had entered into a definitive merger agreement that would combine the two entities. Uh, okay, strange. Okay. Anyways, let's continue. I'm so sorry I just went and did that. But yeah. Oh, wait, let me just quickly check chat. I'm so sorry. I was just looking at this. he wants to build a media empire. Not everything that he's done has failed in the end. The con never. The company has no commercial operations and is formed strictly to raise capital. It's called a con. Yeah, I mean, I found it kind of strange. Mm, that it's like an IPO so quickly, but perhaps I don't know enough about this. Like, are you able to be an IPO like that? Like, because obviously, like when you're somebody like Trump, um, going ahead and having something that people can invest in, like you basically have a 50 million people strong cult. Like that sounds like such an easy way to like raise capital, but um yeah, maybe I'm just a little bit stupid when it comes to like how long should you have your company before you decide to become public. But
Social, finally you will be freed from the chains of Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and TikToks and all these different places that suppress your speech. You will have full free speech on Truth Social, except not really. Let's go through this piece by piece. First, the announcement. TMTG announcing, this is yesterday, late yesterday, announcing Trump Media and Technology Group. Trump Media and Technology Group and Digital World Acquisition Corporation have entered into a definitive merger agreement providing for a business combination that will result in Trump Media and Technology.
so I don't know. Like obviously, this is just like a cursory Wikipedia thing that I was doing here. Wait, I can do this. Yeah, I can. Okay. One sec, because I just want to like every once in a while, maybe I'll want to do this so that I'm not what do you call it, like in the corner while I'm talking about this. Okay, so this is obviously like from a cursory Wikipedia search, but I'm seeing here that the merger that was done was with a Shanghai-based firm specializing in listing Chinese companies on American stock markets. Um, and I don't know, I just kind of find it interesting, I guess, considering that he went on his like whole xenophobia thing and was also like um not just the xenophobia, but did all the stuff to make sure that like, oh, America businesses, America all the time, imposed all the extra tariffs. I just kind of find it interesting that he's like his merger is with a Chinese company. Um, but I mean, obviously, like, it's I'm not particularly surprised. Like, isn't the whole like xenophobia thing is a grift, right? It's supposed to appeal to like economically scared Americans that are worried about people taking their jobs and yeah, just always have to have like an other. It's not our fault. There's always somebody out there. But man, it's really impressive. This little grift thing. Uh, I don't know. It's entertaining in the most depressing way humanly possible. China. This article is a false flag psyop, deep state Pizzagate operation. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we say that, but like, it's depressing, but yet like very true. That there's just all this stupidity about, hey, yeah. It's really dumb. It's really dumb that like someone would probably say like see that and be like, my Trump, he would never work with the Chinese. 100%, like deep state, Pizzagate, like yeah, it's sad, but yeah.
Technology Group, a
Oops.
publicly listed company subject to. All right, this year, I
Oops.
think. All right, this year, I think you're announcing Trump Group, Merge Media and Technology Group becoming a publicly listed company subject to regulatory and stockholder approval. The transaction values Trump Media and Technology Group at an initial enterprise value of $875 million. Wow. With a potential additional earnout of $800.
Am I still mute? Okay, sorry about that. That was an accident. Okay. I don't get this, like, at all. Um, like, how is this worth this much money when they literally don't even have fucking product? Like, $875 million dollars? Like, at this time, when this was dropped, there was no product. How are you just worth, like, close to $1 billion just because LOL, like, I'm Trump? Like, this makes absolutely no sense to me. Um, Maybe I'm just like a little naive baby child, but like, yeah. But also, like, who's the one that like dropped? Who dropped this? Was it Trump like media that was giving out this press release? Because I mean, let me go back a little.
And speech on peace and
Okay, it was TMTG itself that was like, we're worth $875 billion. Like, I don't know. That seems kind of sus. Like, the Wikipedia page doesn't say anything about the numbers. So, and also, Wikipedia is necessarily like the world's most trusted source, but $875 million for like what, just existing? And also, like, how long were they out for by this time? Like, 8 months? Is 8 months enough time to like do that? This is a bit flabbergasting to me. Um, Also, sorry, I'm just fixing this a little. Sorry. But yeah, I know valuations are really wacky, but I don't know, like, is it that bad? Because seems like yeah, this just seems like I'm putting numbers on a piece of paper.
announced agreement provide at an initial enterprise value of equal to $175 million. Wow. With a potential additional earnout of $825 million in additional shares. Going on to say, Trump Media and Technology Group's mission is to create a rival to the liberal media consortium and fight back against the big tech companies of Silicon Valley, which have used their unilateral power to silence opposing voices in America. Just wait until what I'm going to show you goes up on the screen. Trump Media and Technology Group will soon be launching a social network named Truth Social. Truth Social is now available for pre-order in the Apple App Store. Truth Social plans to begin its beta launch for invited guests in November of 21. A nationwide rollout is expected in the first quarter of 22. You can sign up at truthsocial.com.
Are you JQing me right now? Like, it's cool if you're like political and you just have some questions, but like, I don't know what you mean by Israel controls US Congress. Like,
Trump, the chairman of the Trump Media and Technology Group, stated, imagine Trump as a tech CEO. I created Truth Social and TMTG to stand up to the tyranny of big tech. We live in a world where the Taliban has a huge presence on Twitter, yet your favorite American president has been silenced. This is unacceptable, says Trump. I am excited to send out my first truth on Truth Social very soon. TMTG was founded with a mission to give voice to all. Wow, that's great. I'm excited to soon begin sharing my thoughts on Truth Social and fight back against big tech. Everyone asks me, sir, why doesn't someone stand up to big tech? Well, we will be soon.
Okay. Honestly, like I know it's not like a huge surprise, obviously, that like Trump goes and uses like baby language for a press release. But like especially when it comes to like a beta launch of a project, I just expect like more in terms of language. Obviously, like what am I expecting? There's only so many different times that you can be surprised about like something like this, but I'm just like, okay, like it just sounds. We live in a world in which the Taliban has a huge presence on Twitter, but I've been silenced. Like, oh my god, cry me a fucking river. I am so tired of words like cancellation and silence. Like, I feel like these are like overused, and obviously it's all part of like culture war shit. And like, what's the point of anything besides, um, what's the point of like, culture war stuff besides like garnering up support? And like obviously everyone needs to feel like a victim and all that shit just to, make there be a higher than likely chance that like the Republicans will win because like what are they gonna do? Are they gonna talk about like policy? I mean, yeah, we've heard this like time and time again, like with the whole thing in 2018 about the tax cuts. Rather than covering like policy, Tucker Carlson went through and just did rather than talking about like policy, they just talked about things such as what was it that they talked about, like more culture war shit, because the whole point is to keep you as distracted as humanly possible. But like, man, it's just like crazy, I guess, to see like somebody like President Trump, who could basically like sell out an arena whenever he wants and get on any type of news station and like all that other stuff and be like, I'm being silenced, like boohoo, you can't use Twitter, like okay. And like I do understand that like there is a utility, I guess, for these different types of platforms to say, hey, we don't want you on our platform anymore. Um, and like there is like a type of damage it can do. I mean, we say it all the time. In the right, sorry, we say it all the time in the left, like yay, it's good that we ban people like Stephen Molyneux because ever since he's been like taken off, um, yeah, like he no longer has like a presence. But like Stephen, like whatever Stephen Molyneux had is nothing equivalent to what the former president of the United States ever like had or will have. So it's just kind of crazy to be like, I'm being silenced. I'm like, you're fine. Like, you're really fine. Like, the fact that you're still on my fucking news feed, you're fine.
Don Jr. already appearing last night on Fox News to promote it, and it's going to be an exercise in unfettered free speech for all. Anything goes, folks.
And free network for people to be able to communicate, to exercise your First Amendment rights.
Right.
And so tonight, my father signed a definitive merger agreement to form what will ultimately be the Trump Media and Technology.
It's funny how Don calls it a definitive merger agreement, yet the announcement said it's all subject to approval. But okay, that's not the focus.
Group and Truth Social, a platform for everyone to express their feelings. Big tech and all of those on the left for so long, Sean, have been saying, well, if you don't...
Yes. Big tech, the left. These are all the same people. Did you not know that? That the big tech and the left are the same people. You guys remember, the DSA, shaking hands with tech. You remember the Communist Party of America shaking hands with big tech? Like, I'm so fucking tired of this. Like, I know the whole point is just to, like, paint the broadest stroke in the entire world and just, like, encompass this all into it. But man, like, we are not, Like, oh my god, like these are not the same people, like at all. I don't understand like why. Okay.
Like the rules that we really enforce only one way on our platforms, go create your.
Sorry, I get the chills a little bit. Okay, not because not because of Don Jr. I just get chills. Um we only enforce TOS one way. That is so precious. I wish I could wake up every morning and feel like this much of a victim. Like I know that it's like a thing that people say typically that like lefties have like a bit of like a victim mentality or like people that like not like I don't know. I guess there's just like a bit of a whole idea where like POCs that are really like active in the left will like consistently like bring up like I don't know, like systemic oppression and stuff like that. And sometimes we'll like use specific language that kind of hints towards the idea of like a marginalization. But I don't know. It's kind of beautiful to see someone really like sit here and say that like TOS is only informed us in a certain way. Like, God, like, yeah, yeah, is it really? Like, okay, like, cry me a fucking river. Holy shit. Oh my God, Temple. Like, I'm all good for like discourse, but like, what are you talking about right now? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm just saying this person's being a fucking victim. Like, I don't know. What are you, what are you talking about? Look, you can keep on doing this as long as like you don't like start saying some real bunk stuff, but like do me a favor. Like here we have a couple of rules here. I'm a pretty relaxed prison warden, but here's a couple of rules. Let's like not just like throw around like gender stuff just like willy-nilly, especially since it's not going to become a nuanced conversation. Basically all you're going to do is get people upset. And my chat is like we're pretty calm. We don't really argue. And if you like arguing, like that's why we have like our actual Discord server. Um, Unfortunately for you, this is a Twitch stream that is small enough that I'm actually able to like see chat. I'm not Hassan Abby, so like you can say like fuck the rules, but like I can see you, right? So like yeah, that happens, right? Nope. Free speech. Twitch chat. Silly bitch. Okay.
Own.
Right.
And so we did just that. So that's going to launch very soon. We're going to be in beta testing in the next few weeks.
Beta.
Full launch first quarter of 22.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting, and we're looking to give
I love how like Pac-Man's like sitting here and essentially like talking like as if he's actually like having this interview with Trump Jr. Like beta. Yeah. I'm like, you don't need to do that. Like he can't hear you.
a voice back to the American people.
Wow. Well, that's all really, really exciting. Express your feelings, no censorship, all of this stuff. It's great. Except, uh-oh, the terms of service of Trump's Truth Social don't allow criticizing Truth Social. Uh-oh, what's going on? The 23rd rule, which I'm putting up on the screen for Trump's planned social media site, is you can't.
Hmm. This is interesting. Um because it says disparage, tarnish, or otherwise harm, in our opinion. Now, that's some very loosey goosey terminology there. Using in our opinion, yeah, like that's strange. Because essentially they could say at any point, like, we removed you because you were tarnishing us or the site. Not disparaging, but you could tarnish something without criticizing, right? So, like, what is the definition of the word tarnish? I know I'm literally doing debate bro 101 shit right here, but tarnish. Make something less valued or respected. So that doesn't even necessarily mean that you can't, like, it does include not harming the site and not disparaging, but tarnishing just means you can't make it lose like any type of value. Now, that's really, 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 really loose language, because essentially what you could say is we took you off of here because you felt you were bringing a lot of leftists over, and now you are tarnishing the website because that's not the kind of crowd that we wanted, and now we feel like it's losing value. I mean, perhaps it's the stuff that Mr. Pac-Man was gonna say, but yeah, that's ooh, that's really cute, huh? Okay.
Make fun of or criticize his social media site. Number 23, you are not allowed to, quote, disparage, tarnish, or otherwise harm. Wait a second. In our opinion, us and or the site.
I mean, sure, you could say it's like copy paste TOS for brands, but let's say if they literally just had the same boilerplate TOS for Facebook, well, isn't the whole point that they're supposed to be different from all those other sites? Like, if they just take the same boilerplate like TOS from Twitter, well, you guys are complaining about how bad Twitter is, so why are you using like TOS that are somewhat analogous to these other places that you complain about? Now, I guess I could do the research directly right now, and we can go ahead and check to see if this is something that Twitter has. But yeah, it is just kind of strange, like as Electro was saying, that like for social media that's supposed to be free. I mean, yeah, the fact that you're having something that is essentially censorship, or censorship, and has something that could potentially lead to further censorship. I mean, so much for you being the free speech platform. But let me go on Twitter right now and see if I can find TOS that is similar. Obviously, like, I'm not going to be able to run through it like super quickly. So I'm just going to see if, like, let's say the word disparage is in here. Just see how long is this TOS. Oh, TOS isn't even that long. Oh, okay. Let me really quickly look at this then. Please review Twitter rules and policies, which are a part of the user agreement. Okay, so let me. Okay. So, safety, cyberbullying, so no harassment, abuse, or criminal actions, intellectual property, platform integrity, ban invasion. Yeah, so this is a bit long. It looked really short. But let's see. So you can't have abusive, but like, okay, so I'm obviously, perhaps this is something I should look at further when I have like more screens available to me, but I can just say, like, already, like, it doesn't seem like there's anything in here that has to do with has to do with like you saying anything about the website itself, but it has a lot of hyperlinks, and perhaps there's something buried in the hyperlinks. But yeah, cool. I'll make sure I look into it further, because maybe these other websites have the same type of TOS, but it is once again strange to say like the website that is supposed to be like free from censorship still essentially have things built into it that say we are technically allowed to take down your account. I mean, I would
Well,
assume that like a website like this should basically say you can do whatever you want on here as long as it's not illegal.
folks, that's not very free speechy, isn't it? And it's important to mention on Facebook, you can criticize Facebook. On YouTube, you can criticize YouTube.
I don't. So he's saying this, but I'm not sure if that's true. I will assume that it's true, but
We've
if
done
I
it.
find it, if I find anything counter to this, I will edit. I will go ahead and say that like I was wrong, and actually Facebook does say that you can't say anything about Facebook, or YouTube does say that you can't say things about YouTube. I mean, I would say based off of the fact that like there's so many YouTubers that put out the like I fucking hate YouTube, like especially in the age of what was the situation, adpocalypse. Yeah, especially since like Adpocalypse was just people saying like I fucking hate YouTube. The copyright claim system, I know a lot of people made videos about that, but I will hold off.
We feel we've been treated unfairly by YouTube. We publish it to YouTube and it's fine. On Twitter, you can criticize Twitter. On Instagram, you can criticize Instagram. They don't ban people for criticizing them. And yet, on the Trump social site, which is all about freedom and free speech and everybody, no censorship, you are not allowed to criticize the site itself. Now, at the risk of getting a little bit into the weeds, the other funny thing about this is that the terms of service also include a dispute resolution clause.
I know he's gonna read it himself, but I still want to go ahead and like just read it and give like my thing before him, so it doesn't seem like I'm making all of my arguments directly derivative of what David is saying. What is the AAA? I've never heard of this before. The American Arbitration Association. Um, any legal action brought against us, maybe, or whatever. Also, okay. I'm not sure if this is I don't know if this is different than other places. You know what? Honestly, I really want to look a little bit more into TOS now because I have so many questions. But like, can it say like anything that's brought against us may be commenced or prosecuted in the state or federal courts located in Broward County, Florida, and hereby consent to the same. Yeah, it's like I've never heard of it, but also I'm not like a huge like I love to read the privacy policy and TOS of every single service I use. But that's really interesting. And also the AAA. I mean, it's interesting, I guess, that it's any type of issues that you have in relation to the term of service um is decided by this outside arbitration, whereas I guess like let's say if something happens, your video is demonetized on YouTube, it's YouTube that decides um that like yes, your thing can be monetized and not monetized. It doesn't get sent over to somebody else. You can put things in the TOS that are non enforceable, and the arbitration clause would not stand up in court most likely. Could you elaborate a little bit further on that? Let me see. The American Arbitration Association. Like, is this a bipartisan? Or sorry, is this like a non-partisan organization? Okay, so it seems just mostly like non-for-profit organization in the field of alternative dispute resolution, providing services to individuals and organizations who wish to resolve conflicts at court. Yeah, but I don't know, like, let me check this website. I'm so sorry. Like, I know I'm like digging in the weeds, but I guess as a scientist, it is a natural little phenomena that I go through where it's like, but wait, what's this? But like, what's this? But like, wait, what's this? But what is this? Okay, well, it just says that they're like a global leader in this. Okay, I mean, it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't seem to be particularly partisan, at least just in a cursory look. It just seems very legal, but, yeah. Space Dawn. You okay? Would you like to elaborate?
That Trump's lawyers just got done arguing are unenforceable in a different venue, according to Brad Heath, who's the DC crime and justice reporter.
Oh, wait, one sec.
Is that at the to include a dispute resolution clause that Trump's lawyers just got done arguing are unenforceable in a different venue, according to Brad Heath, who's the DC crime and justice reporter. The rules for Trump's site have this dispute resolution thing, which says any dispute, controversy, or claim you have arising related to these terms of service, a breach thereof, or your use of the site shall be exclusively submitted and decided by binding arbitration administered by the American Arbitration Association. Any legal action of whatever nature brought against us, brought by us against you, may be commenced or prosecuted in the state and federal courts in Broward County, and you consent to the same. So basically they're saying, if you come after us, it's all going to be handled by this arbitration association, which is great for them. But if we bring a cause against you, it's going to court. And this is exactly what Trump's lawyers just got done arguing is actually not enforceable.
I guess perhaps I didn't read that as well as I should have. I'm so happy I went through and like did my thing first so that you guys don't think I'm any smarter than I actually am. Yeah, I didn't catch that in there. I was just more like trying to figure out some of the stuff in there. Okay, I'm not. I'll let him explain further because I don't think I'm really catching like the gravity of the situation, if there is a gravity to be had.
So they don't care about principles of free speech or no censorship. They don't care about principles when it comes to arbitration. They'll argue one thing if it's good for them, and they'll argue the opposite if it's good for them.
I mean, do you really expect any form of like ideological consistency from the grift platform? Like, what is the utility of having this platform for any purpose besides like, ooh, culture war? Like, yeah, of course. Like, why would there be any form of ideological consistency here?
And we know this because even now, they only care about censorship and silencing in terms of service when they perceive that a right-wing voice is being limited, which sometimes happens when they're inciting violence or spreading horrible disinformation. But now they don't care about those very same principles. As I've told you hundreds of times, and here is more proof, it's just about what benefits us right now. These people are pathetic, and maybe just as pathetic, Trump's social media site was already hacked. One of our sponsors is Magic.
Nope. That's one of your sponsors, homie. That ain't my sponsor. Get the fuck out of here. Not a chance. This channel's sponsored by My Left Nut. You can have my left nut today by going on to Craigslist. No.